while it might not be much better, I think the retention rate was slightly higher than other fighter career. Like the Viper, I think was the worst by far. And it just got crushed. So I'm curious to A-10 status of the A-10 community, what your thoughts are. And then if you're willing to share, some of your life changes and what the rationale is behind that. You don't have to, but.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I appreciate the sentiment. We in the A-10 community have prided ourselves for a while on having a pretty good dude or bro to non-bro ratio. I think my man Mobag described it as we're the social lubricants of the Air Force. Like we can, make friends with the Viper guy, the Raptor guy, and the Intel guy, and the space nerd, and all those guys, and just all hang out and have a beer and have a good time and go win wars and all that stuff. But yeah, right now I would say morale is not super great in the community. Not great, Bob, if you will.
Pretty darn good.
The future of the jet is very much in doubt right now. I mean, that's always been the case. 10 years ago, I remember being at Moody, and the chief of staff of the Air Force sat us all down in the mass briefing room for both squadrons and basically told us that we were done. The Air Force is getting rid of the A-10, and that was that. Well, he's gone, and we're still here. But the difference between then and now is we had a lot more political support in Congress. We had, Senator McCain, Senator Ayotte, Martha McSally, a number of pretty big name politicians who were willing to go to bat for the airframe and make hold the Air Force's feet to the fire with the CAS mission and say, look, if you're going to get rid of this platform, what are you going to do to backfill it? Like, you either need to have an honest to goodness capability that can meet or exceed the needs of the warfighter out there, or we're not going to let you do this until you do. Well, now that's no longer the case. I mean, you saw in the last week, you can barely elect a Speaker of the House, let alone, who knows what's going to happen later in the year when it comes to budgets and debt ceilings and all those other things. So the last NDA that just got passed officially divested from one squadron worth of A-10s. The Fort Wayne Guard guys are switching from A-10s to Vipers, which honestly is fine. They've been trying to do that for years, and hey, good for you. They got given Vipers, I think, against they were given A-10s really against their will. But that's the first domino to fall unit-wise in terms of the A-10s getting ready to shut down. For the Guard and Reserve side specifically, my squadron was informed, our whole unit here was informed this past weekend that per the Air Force roadmap, this unit, the Reserve B course that I fly in and teach in, is slated to shut down at the end of fiscal 25. So September 2025, the squadron would be no more. The last squadron, we were supposed to be the last squadron standing, but they swapped us around with Whiteman. So now Whiteman will be the last guys around, at least on the reserve side. And then, so we'll kind of see what happens. That is a little bit shorter of a timeline than I think what a lot of people were anticipating. I mean, with the end of GWAT effectively and everything, there's not really a huge push to have a dedicated CAS platform that's out there every day doing the mission. But yeah, it's a tough time to be an A-10 pilot in the Air Force. I still love it. It's great. If you're out there in pilot training and you get selected to fly the A-10, do not despair. You're going to learn a lot of great stuff, and the skills that you acquire in this community will carry you through the rest of your career, because I think the biggest difference between our community and the others that are out there is we have, a support the ground warfighter mindset. We care about the guy on the ground. Our mission is the 18-year-old kid with a rifle in the mud getting shot at, and it's our job to go and save him. That's all we really care about and think about. And as long as you're going to fight wars with people in it and not have, Terminator robots or whatever, that's going to be something that is of value to the Air Force. But yeah, it's a frustrating time. We can go way deeper into that topic if you want, in terms of future warfare, who's in charge of CAS, should the Army get A-10s or whatever, or should the Army be in charge of its own close air support air assets? But it's definitely a time of change for us, and definitely challenging for a lot of folks.